Oh, straight from the source. Okay, so I want to talk today about like, can you still have and remain the posture of praise even through the midst of suffering? Like, that's the question for today. And I know that that's a tough question to come to grips with because honestly, for me, I would even want to say the majority of the time, it'd be like, nah, bro, it would be difficult. For those who don't know the story about Job, picture this, right? So picture a guy who had it, right? He was sitting nice on the hill and he had cattle, he had a nice little family. Like Job was winning, okay? My man was winning, but mainly he was faithful to God, right? So, Satan is running around, roaming around, roaming around, roaming around, and he looking for somebody. He like, man, who can I test? And then God's like, well, have you tried my man Job, right? Have you checked him out? And then Satan's like, nah, I haven't checked him out because he has no reason to be unfaithful to you because he has it all. God said, well, do what you want to do, but just don't harm him. Right? Just imagine that. Imagine that God sees you as you're so faithful to him that I don't want to say serves you up, but he puts you up to the challenge of not telling. He didn't tell Job that Satan was coming after him, but he just told Satan, well, try Job. Okay, so let's go ahead and read the text, and then we'll take it from there. And this is Job chapter 1, verse 20. Verse 20, and then we're going to read down to 22. It says, then Job got up, he tore his robe and shaved his head, and then fell to the ground and worshiped. He said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I shall return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Despite all of this, Job did not sin, nor did he blame God. Let me give you a little bit more context. So Job is just hanging out at the crib. And then this is back in the day to where they had people who would deliver messages, right? So Job is at the crib just hanging out. Somebody runs up. They say, Job, this just happened. You just lost a son. And Job's like, mm. And before this person finished giving the message, then there was another messenger that said, Job, this just happened. Now you lost a daughter. And then before that person is done saying what happened, then somebody else is running up and they're like, hey, Job, this is what happened. So basically, this man is taking blow after blow after blow after blow. And just imagine getting hit with losing somebody significant to you in your life. But before you even have the time to grieve and the time to process, then something else is happening. Then you're losing your job. So now all these issues are stacking one on top of the other on top of the other. And y'all, Job is still just there in the midst of it, just being faithful. And then his wife is like, say, Job, like you tripping, bro. I mean, I feel you. You got a relationship with God. You rock with God. But at the same time, just go ahead and curse the name of the Lord. Just curse him and just be done with it. And Job's like, nah, I'm not. I'm 10 toes down in the faith. And y'all, the reason why I wanted to hit this today and break this down today is because so often we can get swayed by our emotions to really challenge and potentially affect what we believe. But Job said, no, 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 no. I'm faithful to God. I believe in God. He's provided for me and he will continue to provide for me, even while everybody else around him, right? Like his wife's telling him curse the Lord. Then he has some other people that are coming around him. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. Have you ever been through that struggle? Like you got people talking to you and trying to tell you and trying to encourage you, but they're like, I don't even know how to encourage you in this situation because I ain't never been here. But what we want to take away from this text is, so at the end of this text right here, where like I read in verse 20 through 22, Job is still faithful. Why is he still faithful? The first thing is because he's acknowledging God's sovereignty. Job still understood, even through the midst of all of these challenging trials and everything happening, he knew that God was still in control of his life, even though he was taking losses, right? Because we can say we're Christians, we can say we're believers, we can say we're followers of Jesus, But then we get confused on why difficult things or challenging things happen. Bad things happen to good people all the time. But the next point that I want to make sure that we get is his acceptance of God's will, right? He didn't question or even fight against the will of God, but ultimately he accepted it, because this is showing that he trusts in the ultimate goodness of God and also what? God's justice, right? He's like Job is there, but then there are two more points I want to give you. There are two more points. The other one is this: it's easy to praise God when you just got a check. It's easy to praise God when all the bills are paid, you eating chicken and steak and lobster and everything else. But can you praise God through the midst of suffering? Right? So despite the pain and the mourning that Job was facing, his immediate response, right? In verse 20, his immediate response was, Job tore his robe and shaved his head, and he fell on the ground and he worshiped. Not he got mad, not he cussed, not he complained, not he whined. His immediate response to the pain was praise. That's a word. When you feel pain, you praise. Not feeling pain, you complain. Pain to praise. So this demonstrated the perspective and the value that he had to God for even everything that he still had. But the last part is his faith. Job's faith was unwavering and it was enduring. Can you show praise to God as the source of all good things, even when those good things are removed? My God in heaven, that's a word for me. Okay, that's a word for me. If that ain't a word for you, that's a word for me. So today I want you to focus when you come into a painful situation or experience a trial. Try to shift from pain to praise. God, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I just lost my job, but Lord, help me still give you praise for the things that I still have and the things that you have not taken away, because I trust your will. I have faith in you, because ultimately I know you will see me through. Family, that's been straight from the source. If you're enjoying this content, make sure to hit the thumbs up buttons on YouTube to make sure that, they can throw us in the algorithm and they know that you're rocking with us. And also make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our content here on Speak Your Success. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with producer Britt giving us that Teach Me Tuesday energy. We'll be right back with more Speak Your Success in a minute.